Good evening, everyone. How can you hear me? You can see BTC US, the USD daily chart. At the moment, price from one Bitcoin, $8,110. Okay, so first of all, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. To do this, you should click subscribe to below the video, and don't forget click the bell, and you always be aware of new streams and videos. So first of all, a few, not a few, I think many news today, because last time we saw each other on the previous Thursday. First of all, interesting statement for Steve Wozniacki. It's Apple co-founder. So he said that Ethereum can be no less influential than Apple. And co-founder of Apple spoke positively about the prospects of Ethereum, drawing some parallels between this platform and the company to the creation on which he once made efforts. About this written Forbes. So during the VR Developers Congress in Vienna in 2018, Steve Wozniak noted that the Ethereum blockchain platform could become as influential as Apple. And what Wozniak said, he said, Ethereum interests me because he can do different things and is a platform. In the long term, it can be just as influential as Apple. As you remember, earlier I said during VR Developers in 2018 in the Austrian capital Vienna, Steve Wozniak said that the full potential of Bitcoin will be revealed in the next 10 years. So it sounds well about Ethereum, difference between Ethereum and Apple, and in the long term it can be just as influential as Apple. So long term it's 10 years, 20, 50 years. Dear Mr. Wozniacki, unfortunately, could say. So next is about Japan exchange. Coin check. I think all crypto traders know about coin check. So coin check plans to expand into the United States market. The online broker Modern Incorporation, the owner of the Japanese currency exchange CoinCheck, intends to obtain a license from the Japanese authorities and expand his business to the United States market. According to Bloomberg, this may happen within the next month, so next month, June. According to Manex CEO Oki Matsumoto, in the Japanese market, the stock exchange faces problems when classifying securities and attracting institutional investors. He also criticized high taxes on cryptocurrency transactions, in some cases reaching 55%. Awesome. And what he added, in Japan, it's hard to even think about including cryptocurrency in the portfolio. Under such conditions, digital assets will remain a toy in the hands of speculators. Also, Matsumoto is convinced that the United States regulations that currently play a key role in determining the vector of the industry development of the cryptocurrency. And said when they are determined whether cryptocurrency can be considered securities, there will be clarity and certainty in the market, and with them opportunities for further growth and attraction of international investor. And let's remind you the transaction on a question of stock exchange CoinCheck company Monex has taken place in April of this year. Subsequently, the price of Monex shares increased by 98%. It's a huge move. Next news, it's a very important resource of the Wall Street Journal about Coinbase intends to get a banking license. So the largest Bitcoin exchange and the provider of the Coinbase cryptocurrency wallet in early 2018 discussed with the American regulation the possibility of obtaining a banking license from the company. About this, referring those who wanted to remain anonymous sources familiar with the situation. So according to the publication, the possibility of filling the relevant application representatives of Coinbase discussed with Commission for Regulation of Commercial Banks, OCC. There have been no official comments from Coinbase yet. So obtaining a federal banking license will free Coinbase from regulation at the state level, expand the company's capabilities with regard to the range of service offered, and also eliminate the need for finding a banking partner ready to cooperate in the field of cryptocurrency trading. Early in May, Coinbase had already introduced a number of new products designed exclusively for international investors seeking to enter the digital currency market. But as the newspaper notes, the availability of a banking license will help a California company become even more attractive to large investors. And I remind you, in April, Coinbase appealed to the United States Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, to obtain a license to carry out brokerage activities and work as a platform for electronic commerce. Very interesting. So next news, some opinion of this perfect woman. It's Amber bolded. She said there will inevitable by cryptocurrency trading on Wall Street. So, despite the regular criticism voiced against Bitcoins by major financial institutions, the day on which Wall Street begins to trade in cryptocurrency will inevitably come. And this opinion was expressed by the head of the blockchain startup Clover and former top manager JP Morgan, Amber bolded. And what she said, I think it will happen even earlier than it might seem, but even if in such a desire, there are challenges of a legal and regulatory nature. Among other problems that don't allow institutional investors to develop in the cryptocurrency market, Amber bolded called the lack of sufficiently safe solutions for the storage of digital assets. I remind you, Amber bolded left JP Morgan in April of this year and having founded a startup Clover, which develops solutions for storing decentralized application on a blockchain. At the moment, there is no tool that would allow finding what is being created. Google does not exist to search for applications. As the ability to search for applications will be useful, but will also include the ability to create them. Amber added. It should be noted, however, that last week the blockchain startup Blockstack was announced to create a directory for decentralization application. As for solutions for storing cryptocurrency for large investors, recently the launch of such products was reported by Coinbase. In addition, a company that specializes in the safe storage of digital assets created Japanese bank Nomura with participation of Global Advisor Holdings and the manufacturer of hardware wallet Ledger. Previous employer Amber Bolded meanwhile said that they are developing his own cryptocurrency strategy, responsible for which will be the head of London division of the bank, Oliver Harris. So, next news from Latin America, from Argentina. In Argentina, Bitcoin will be used as an alternative to SWIFT transfers. So, Argentina Banco Mas Ventas conclude an agreement with the Bitex crypto exchange for the implementation of cross-border transfers using Bitcoin. For the bank's customers, the service will be available this week. CoinDesk report. And when processing an international payment, the bank will contact Bitex as the provider of the services. And what they said, our clients get a transparency. They don't work with Bitcoin and do not see it. We provide them with a service and they don't come into contract with Bitcoin. The representative of the crypto exchange office explained. Interbank movements hope that cooperation will allow developing digital services of the bank and will help reduce the commission for cross-border payments. And note that the cooperation was the first example of the use of Bitcoin by the Argentinian financial institution for cross-border payments. It's very interesting. It's a good alternative to SWIFT, in my opinion, and much more faster. So what about some cryptocurrencies? First of all, Stellar, and IBM is betting on the blockchain Stellar. So Jess Lund, this is Jess, head of IBM's blockchain business, expressed support for the Stellar project, saying that the decentralized platform developed by the startup is a remarkable, scalable, high-performance open source blockchain and highly flexible. So last week, the International Business Machines IBM Corporation announced the launch of a project involving Veridium Labs, during which the Stellar blockchain will be used to tokenize carbon emission allowances. The latter are used by companies whose activities involve significant risk of environmental pollution. Revenues from the sale of Verge tokens will be used to restore 220 square miles of forest land on the island of Borneo. At the same time, Jesslund paid time to Reddit users where he held an AMA session. It's mean ask me about anything. In his course, he said that he was a big fan of Stellar and that IBM was actively cooperating with the startup. What Lund said, IBM has chosen Stellar as its partner because the decentralized platform is highly flexible. Stellar is a remarkable, scalable, high-performance open source blockchain. And yesterday, on Monday, May 21st, Jess also announces a new session of the AMA, which will be devoted to the cooperation of IBM and Stellar. Nothing as that. it already becomes a habit. Note that during the previous session, answering the question about the obstacles associated with the adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrency, Jesland noted that mainly this depends on the marketing and reputation of the startup, as proper effect on which can be obtained only over time. For instance, he referred to the same difficult transaction from coins from metal to paper money carriers, which in due time were in every possible way prevented by the authorities. And Lund also noticed that as soon as heated debate around cryptocurrency, abate companies around the world will massively start using innovative technology. So he said, I regard Bitcoin as a utility. Cryptocurrency itself creates value because Bitcoin is a global autonomous network aimed at converting electricity into digital money, which in turn can be quickly and safely transferred to anywhere in the world without intermediaries with the ability to convert into any large currency. Sending a digital currency is as simple as sending an email. This is the greatest value of Bitcoin and altcoins. As you remember, maybe months ago, I said about until the end of 2018, the Stellar team plans to integrate the Lightning Network protocol into the source code of the project. And last news about founder of BKCM, and he said, I would have bought Bitcoin Cash at the current level. So what about Bitcoin Cash? BCH. This level near the $1,200 per one Bitcoin Cash. So, founder and CEO of the BKCM hedge fund, Brian Kelly, in the program CNBC Crypto Craze, spoke about these positive developments for the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem and stressed that he believes the current price level is favorable for purchase or for buy. For example, he noted that Bitcoin Cash miners are seriously considering the possibility of sacrificing some of the rewards for developing the network infrastructure, which, according to Kelly, could lead to a wider use of the coin. And in addition, the centralization of the mining community in the context is also a positive factor, the financial beliefs. And he said, this is a mark where I would like to buy. So, start our summary. It's BCH, 1 day and 1 hour. So we can see maybe some resistance near 100 and 1150. Approximately 1300 resistance 100 and 1500 resistance 2 and too many resistance, yes. Stellar 31 cent. So with Bitcoin on Sunday and on Saturday we have some move move up. Maybe 15 minutes. Yes, this and this. And we create some new resistance near 8,550. So a low of this range, of this line of support, maybe 8,100, and very interesting level 7,950. So according to the daily chart, I think if we go lower, lower than 7,900, we can see maybe 7,500. Why not? In the near future. So the same situation in the Ethereum, but in this chart we have very interesting support. $600 maybe, and 60, 670, and of course 640. Litecoin, the same situation, maybe new support 130, but if we broke this down and we go 115, no doubt. EOS, you remember last previous weak move and high 14 and 20, and now I don't know, really. We need some better support in this zone, and maybe risk with for this price big stop near lower than 11 and 80, and maybe buy near 13, and very good potential for 18. I think it's a first good target. But we can see red dress today. So XRP, maybe some new support. So what about CoinMarketCap? More cryptocurrency, 1,600. A lot of markets. BTC domination today 37.7%. And we can see red color on the Binance coin and Steam, Stratis. I look for first 50. Oh, minus 15% Bitcoin private. So for capitalization more than 500 billions Steam. Okay, Ethereum, because dollar calculated by TradingView is, I think it's not correct, yes. Or $3, CoinMarketCap. Okay. And now we are in resistance zone, $3.10 maybe, $13. It's really not interesting. Only a lot of red lights. And first Bitcoin private, BTCP, pump and dump maybe, look like BTCP. Polish zloty, no, thank you. Yes, I think you remembered about this huge move, and now lower than $20, unfortunately. And Bitcoin Diamond, minus 10%. So not interesting. I think we are in the strong range. If we see daily chart, so time will tell, guys. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. To do this, you should click subscribe below the video. So if you have any question, please leave them in the comments. I see you on Thursday. See you guys.